dealt with it last year, but what is it like dealing with guys like Alex and Vander and Thomas Bryant that go up and down between both teams?
Well, I mean, this year is new to all of us. I think it's a lot easier knowing that Alex and Vander are going to be part of our team, so that's nice. And they're fully committed to us and the organization, so that's also nice. TV's been great. The biggest thing that you want from an assignment guy or a two-way guy is just they play hard and they bring their focus and their same intensity. You want the exact same transfer that they give the Lakers to give us, and all three of those guys do.
What's impressed you most about Thomas Bryant so far?
His competitiveness, his energy. I mean, a lot of it. He played really well in that first game, and hopefully he can replicate that. But he's a young player, so he's going to have some tough games and a lot of good competition in this league. So I'm guessing that he's going to have his ups and downs. But I think his energy and competitiveness will do it.
Coach, what did you learn in your first season here that you would take into your second season?
That I have very little influence on the game. In the best way possible. Our guys win and lose games for us. Our players do. And, it's my and our staff's responsibility to empower them to know that they're the guys that make the difference for us, and empower them to understand that this is their team and they're the guys that we trust.
How often are you getting feedback from the Lakers, and who's that usually coming from?
I mean, our office is literally right next to each other, so we pass every day. Not a ton of feedback, just because we're on two different paths right now. But I talk to assistants and Luke almost every day in passing. Rob and Magic are right down in the hall too, so they'll ask about TV and how he's doing. But information is pretty easily accessed these days, so it's they don't always need to come to me.
What did you learn in Summer League by helping coach? I noticed that there were times I was in the stands going, put Vander in. Did you get that little whisper into Judd's ear, like, you want to get ahead, put Vander in?
No, I take the opposite approach as a parent.
Oh.
No, I usually give them distance and let them make that decision. And I think the whole Lakers staff and Judd, they can see what Vander brings.
Right.
So if you just let Vander be Vander or let AC do AC, then they're gonna see that value and understand who he was, and they did. And Judd loves both of those guys immensely.
How was making all these last cuts? I mean, it was probably pretty tough to cut some guys this last round.
No, it was really really shitty. It's because we last year, we had a team where there's a couple spots open, and we felt like two guys really earned those spots, and it was pretty clear to us. One of those guys being Nawaba, which made it really easy. This year, we thought there was probably 4 or 5 guys that had earned it, and that can help our team, and proven, on one day or the next day. So, that's the honor that I have in this position, is I have to make that choice and do what I feel is best for the team, and that's the choice I made.
Alex talked about Vander being more of a leader this year. Is that something you kind of pushed on him, or is that something he just took on his own?
No, I think he, after last year, I think he was excited to earn the MVP, but I think that kind of gives you that idea that, okay, well, I can be the MVP, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get what I want. He wants to be an NBA player. And I think from that day, when he came to training camp for Summer League and the Lakers training camp, I've seen his demeanor, his professionalism take another step up. I think he's proven who he is and how good he is. Now he's just proving he's a professional, he's a leader, he's a winner. And so those are the things that I think he's just been practicing those things since the end of the G League season.
You guys played a big role in Ivica Zubac's development. He got in better shape, he got valuable minutes. What about Thomas's game do you think is going to benefit from him being with you guys?
I think just the flow of the game, the pace of the game. He's already really good at that. So I think just the nuances of the ball changing sides of the floor defensively, understanding how far you can go, how far you can't go. Sprinting into pick and rolls defensively. Just keeping on top of the pace of the game. I think it really benefits young guys. It's just a lot faster game than the pro game. 24-second shot clock compared to 30-second, and most of the pro coaches are encouraging guys to shoot early in the shot clock, whereas in college it's the opposite. So it's just a lot different, philosophically.
Does the parent club give you direction on how they want guys like Caruso and Bryant and Vander developed, or is that something they pretty much just leave to you?
They trust us with that. We have conversations about it, and I've talked to Luke about it. There's certain things that we're going to do that we change because we want to keep it aligned with what they're doing. But that's one thing that's great in the position I hold is that they trust me, and then I completely trust our staff to develop our guys, and that's one thing that I'm really proud of this year. Is I think we have the best staff in the league, and our development staff is great. And we got a lot of guys that are helping guys get better. I think they'll improve no matter what, win or loss, or whatever the result is. They're going to be better basketball players, better people.
Are you expecting any other Lakers to come down other than Thomas?
I think you guys can look and see the guys that can possibly come down. I think we're aware of the possibilities. But right now, I'm not expecting them.
What's it been like working with Metta so far?
It's surreal. It's like it's kind of when the possibility came to me, I was excited just because I look at Metta in a light like different than most guys. I think I see him as like a savant of defense, and to be able to be around someone that did it at the highest level, like he was able to guard the best players in the league for over 10 years. And to have that knowledge and that experience on our staff, it's an honor for me to just be able to talk to him and hear him tell stories and stuff. So he's been great. He's simple. Luke was talking about it. Guys like him and Andre Iguodala, they kind of have like this different playbook on defense. Like they can do things their way and get away with it because they're so good at it. But one thing I've noticed with Metta is he looks at the game very simple, and you either do it or you don't. So it's fun. I've asked him to be more vocal because I think these guys, if they're anything like me, they want to hear what he has to say. So it's been a lot of fun, and I think our staff's enjoyed it too.
Do you think that's the first time anyone's ever had to ask him to be more vocal?
Metta's not a outspoken guy in general. He kind of just works. You guys have been to the Lakers practices last year. He just kind of gets his work done. When he's competing, he's vocal. But he's not an outspoken guy. So he's just pretty shy and humble. So it's been fun.
Last one.
Coach, you got anything special planned for practice today?
Probably gonna shoot a little bit. No, we'll play a little scrimmage and get up and down, get them loose. They've been going hard, and we haven't had many or any days off, so be mindful of that and just try to get them ready for the game.
Good luck this season.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Coach.
See you guys.
The Beverly Hills also. Coach Dallas, Beverly Hills, and I coach my own team in the summertime, Pandas Springs. So I got my own team that I coach, and then I got a lot of kids who just call me and ask me to practice with them. So they wake me up out of my good sleep, and I get out there and try to help the kids. But this is great. Really enjoying seeing if I can help out a little bit. So and Coach, I asked Coach Luke, and he reached out to Coach Karl, and then Coach Karl reached out to me. It's just great.
How would you describe your coaching style?
I don't know. I really can't tell you. But I guess eventually you'll find out.
Who's the coach that influenced you most?
Lots of coaches. Paul Meade from Queens. Taught me my first pump fake. Artie Cox, Brooklyn Queens Express, under Riverside Church banner. Huge powerhouse organization back in the days in New York City. If you're familiar, Riverside Hawks. Kevin Jackson, aim high. Now he's at Believe Prep. I played for Kevin when I was young. Benson Smith, Kenny Smith's brother. Fran Fischella. Bill Averill, LaSalle Academy. Coach Valente, LaSalle Academy. Coach Polanco, LaSalle Academy. Great coaches. Ernest Lutch, Riverside Church. Coach Derman, Riverside Church. Paul Suba, Bingo, Riverside Church. And then Jarvis, Tim Floyd, taught me some things about defense. Obviously, I play for Isaiah Thomas, Phil, Carlisle, Adelman, Mike Brown, Anthony, Luke Walton, Russell. Yes. So many coaches. Which one we do? And my last couple of years when I started watching Caruso more and watching Kobe more, really paying attention to those guys. That really helped me out probably the most. Kobe, and then watching the Warriors. I went to a couple of the championship games and really studied how they play, watch how they play. So I guess that's basketball for y'all.
What's been your favorite thing about coaching this team so far?
Well, development coaching. The best thing about development coaching, I get a chance to help, and that's something I enjoy doing anyway, and I feel like, any player I'm working with, I can make it better. I actually enjoy it. So that's the best thing about it, something that I kind of living through them because I'm not working for my game, even though I still play basketball, but I'm really working to get them better. So it's like a drive, kind of like a roller coaster ride. You're out there and you're working with them, trying to get them over a little bit. It's been great.
Have you brought the I Love Basketball to the South Bay Lakers? Because
No.
No?
I'm trying, no, the personalities when I play, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna.
But your
when I'm
coaching personality.
There's really nothing to really scream about. I love basketball. You're just saying, just set a better screen.
Do you find yourself saying something over and over so far as you've
listening,
been?
just learning from the coaches, learning from Coach Fox, Coach Walls, Sean, Coach Coby. Just learning, because you can't say you want to coach and think all of a sudden you're going to come into a practice and be a hell of a coach. It takes time, and Coach Karl came to me the other day and was like, "I need more from you." So it was like, that was pretty cool. Because I'm starting from the bottom.
Yeah. He said he wants you to be more vocal.
I know, he said
and we
that.
were
He said
surprised.
I know. I'm just like, okay.
You put your father hat on because I know you're good with your kids.
Well, I just, sometimes I don't think I know it all, so I try to,
Metta,
learn.
what questions do the players ask you the most? Do they ever touch on
It's only been
some of
3
your battles that
practices.
you've had with Kobe and LeBron?
Sometimes, not really. It's been 3 practices, and really collectively we're just together. It's not about me, or it's not about things I've been through. It's like what we're doing and how we're moving forward. The past is the past, and I had fun. It's documented. Now we're moving forward.
Coach raved about the knowledge you bring at being the best of the best in terms of being a defender. So what is your main message to these guys so far?
I just try to tell them things I learned from listening to Jordan's defense, talking about how to keep the back foot active, and listening to things Coach Floyd told me about spacing on defense, individual body balance and spacing. There's things I've learned. I didn't make it up. I've learned it, and I'm just giving it back. There's nothing I'm doing special.
What are some of Thomas Bryant's strengths, and then what are some of the things that you want him to work on as his development coach?
I'm not his personal development coach, but I try to help everybody. But I see things that he can do better. Just being more, just dreaming more. Just dream and be innovative. Be innovative, dream, and focus on your foundations, fundamentals. Have a hell of a time getting better. It's pretty simple.
Hey, sorry, man. So Luke started his coaching career in this role that you're doing right now. Has he talked to you at all about your role?
No, but maybe he did, but I know I can't remember. I text Luke sometimes about different things. He has a lot on his plate, fun, but he has a good job in terms of he has to coach a lot of players, and coaches, assistant coaches for the most part, and run a organization from a basketball standpoint. So I try to minimize, what I'm asking him and stuff like that.
He said he was so excited about having you here.
Luke?
Yeah.
That's great. I learned so much from Luke. Well, I learned from him as a player, for one. So he would often come to me and give me confidence and tips. And I never got a chance to play with him. He was a great passer. I always wanted to play with him. But he was at the same position. It was unfortunate. But so it didn't just start from learning from Luke last year. It's been happening since 2010.
Last one.
You said you wanted Thomas to dream and innovate more. What do you mean by that?
Just try things that can work that maybe you don't think is going to work. But work at it. From the fundamentals first. Don't just work on a Jordan fadeaway or Hakeem post. Like, what's the fundamentals of those moves? And the opportunities. Just dream more, and work at it, and that's it. And just be the best you can be. They got great coaches already, and great staff. And, to me, I'm an optimist. So I always see the best in people.
Awesome. Thanks, Metta.
Thank you, Vander.
Taking the knowledge and the little concepts that sometimes you don't get to dive into as detailed down at this level. Just trying to give that to guys, talk to them on the side, bring them tidbits and little things that you don't pick up on right away.
Are there big differences between the two practices?
Not really, other than maybe some of the size of the guys, because obviously the NBA's got bigger guys, but I think overall the energy and effort and the competitiveness for both of them has been outstanding. Being a part of both of them, I've gotten to see that, so I think both teams are in a really good spot coming out of training camp.
Has the parent club given you feedback on what they want you to work on and the increased minutes that you'll see with South?
I don't think so. I think it's just more of doing what I've been doing, being solid defensively, attack the paint, push the pace. The same thing they want to do with the NBA team is the same thing that they want to do with the South Bay team. They want to play fast, they want to play good defense, and they want to share the ball.
How much does it help to have some continuity with Vander and Thomas Bryant, and guys that you've played with before?
Really, really good. That and just some of the coaching staff being in training camp, being around them, getting to know them, and then playing with some of those guys through summer league all the way till now. It's built a good chemistry. Just really excited to get going and play that first game.
How similar is the playing style going to be with this team to the Lakers? Like, how much carryover is there between the two playbooks?
Like I said, they want to run the organizations the same. They want to play fast. The playbooks might be just a little different, just as far as personnel-wise. You run different plays for different guys, but first and foremost, they want to play defense and run. If we don't have to call a play all year, that'd be ideal. But I think coming down, we'll just kind of dictate whoever we're playing, see where our mismatches are, and go from there.
Are you going to try and play as fast as the parent team?
Yeah, fast if not faster. We want to play as well as we can, and I think with this team playing fast is the way to go.
What area has your game improved on most over the offseason?
I think through the offseason, just being more confident shooting, and then being more sound defensively and decision making. I think going through training camp, getting the minutes I did in preseason really helped slow the game down. I gained a little bit of confidence from that, and everything's just really easy for me right now. I say easy. It's not an easy game, but seeing the floor and seeing where guys are tagging defensively and stuff like that, and just running the team, it's slowing down. It's a little easier for me.
How would you describe the chemistry of this team so far through training camp?
I think it's been really well, really good. I think if anybody caught any of the exhibition game the other night, no matter what five we put out on the court, we played really well defensively, played with great effort, and made extra passes. And anytime you can do that with, I don't know how many guys we had on the team at that point, but 15 to 17 guys or whatever it was, I think that's really impressive. With a week and a half of practices, I think that's a good start.
You guys pretty much dominated Northern Arizona the other night. Do you feel like you're a really strong team and you're going to be doing that the rest of the season?
Yeah, I knew we had good continuity, good teamwork, good unselfish guys, but I think that game really opened my eyes to how good we can play. We didn't play perfect, and we still played really, really well, so I think that's positive moving forward. I think for this team, it's just about getting better and taking it a day at a time,
And how are you transitioning from Texas to California?
Yeah, that's been interesting. The weather's a lot nicer out here. You get a little breeze off the ocean and not as much rain, but traffic is a different thing. Getting used to taking 20 to 30 minutes anywhere you're going, that's not going to take that's going to take a lot of time to get used to.
Were you rooting for the Astros last night?
That was a win-win for me, because obviously I'm in LA, but I had some people in my apartment complex that were like 30 seconds behind me, and they would always cheer throughout the whole series anytime the Dodgers score, so I gave them a little shout out after the Astros.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think they know who we are, so that's good.
Has anybody jumped out at you so far early on in training camp, surprised you at all?
I don't think it's been an individual. If anybody, I think Vander's done a good job kind of leading. I know that hasn't been his forte, I guess, in the past, or his reputation hasn't done that, but he's really stepped into that. Transitioning from summer league to preseason to now with South Bay, he's kind of in the same position I am, where he has a lot of knowledge. He's spent a lot more more time in the NBA than I think anybody on our team probably. So I think him finally stepping in that leadership role, I think, is helping himself and the team as far as just bringing everybody together and kind of making us better as a unit.
The teams that he played for the last couple of years, there was like a little bit of continuity. There's a lot of roster turnover this year. Do you guys feel like you can be as good as they were the last couple of years?
Talking about the
South Bay
team? Yeah, I mean, the thing with the D League or the G League is every year, I mean, the teams aren't going to be the same. There's going to be turnover. There's going to be a handful of guys that come back for each team, but other than that, they're finding new guys that are just as hungry and just as motivated to go out and play hard. So I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to us and taking care of business and doing the things that we want to do as far as play defense and run and be unselfish.
How do you remain competitive within this league where the rosters are constantly changing?
You know, I think that just comes from within. I think that's a personal thing that you just take upon yourself to be competitive and want to win everything you do. We count wins as a team, as an organization, no matter what team you're with, they count wins in practice. So I think that it starts from there. If you're competitive in practice, once you get in the game, it's a no-brainer that you're going to go hard and want to compete to win.
What specifically motivates you?
You know, I'm not really sure. I've always been a pretty competitive guy. There's something about just working together with the other 4 guys that are on my team to try and beat the other team that just gets me going.
Can you tell us a funny story about Summer League? I was there. It was very exciting. The crowd loved you guys. It was like a home game every time you played. Do you have like some behind the scenes?
Yeah, the secret to Summer League, nobody's probably came out with this yet, was the waffle bar that we had before games. The reason that we won so many games is because we had the waffle bar. And after we won the, I don't know which game, the second game, the game before the championship game, we broke out on one more waffle bar in the huddle before we left for the hotel.
What do you top your waffle with?
I personally, I was an omelet guy,
okay.
So the waffle bar maybe wasn't my forte, but Thomas Bryant, that's the guy you need to ask. He's a waffle expert.
I think.
Thanks, yeah. Thanks,
I think they need a waffle machine now.
Yeah, maybe we need.
Yeah, we need a waffle bar here now.
It's been a fun, enjoyable ride. Just a lot of highs and lows. Just trying to soak it all in and just stay consistent and be grateful at the same time. But it's been definitely, if I had to say a word, it's been a blessed couple months and a lot of blessings coming my way.
Can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with Lonzo and with Brandon Ingram? Kind of how you've been a big brother to them, and maybe how they're helping you develop a little bit as well.
Yeah, like I said, those are like my little brothers. I talk to Brandon every day. We just built that chemistry this summer and being around each other, and just seeing how each other work, knowing each other's past, just trying to work towards one goal. Like I said, Zoe coming in had a lot on his shoulders, a lot of people after him, watching him. So I just tried to be there for him and try to help him, let him know that everything will be okay. Always just be there, be his little backbone. Because I know how it is out there. There's a lot of pressure, playing under a lot of pressure. He has to do that pretty much every night. So we just all built the chemistry, and we still work to this day. They help me with my leadership skills, and I'm just trying to help them make sure they stay consistent. Stay ready.
Yeah, Coach Karl said you were emerging leader on this team, which is great to hear. What's your big message you think this season for your fellow players?
I mean, I would hope I'll become a leader being here this long. So I just trying to tell the guys to play hard every single time. Like, you never know what can happen. It's not about a 10-day. It's not about a 2-way. It's just about trying to get better every single day as a person and a player, and everything will take care of itself.
And what do you put on your waffles? We heard there's a waffle bar that.
I'm pretty simple, just syrup. I'm not
syrup?
Really into the fruit and all that other stuff. Thomas Bryant, I'm probably got going, but I like to keep it simple. I'm more of a simple guy.
What are your goals for yourself individually this year?
Well, I'm going to win another MVP and win a championship if I'm still around. That's basically it.
You've said that your goal obviously is to become an NBA player. You're right on the verge of that. Has the organization communicated to you what they want to see from you in order to achieve that goal on it?
Kinda, not really. I mean, I'm here now, so like I said, any day, any second, I can be up with the Lakers, and we're working here. They just want me to work hard every day, be who I am. So when the opportunity presents itself, I'll be ready to go. This guy.
How has team chemistry developed within this preseason?
It's been great. It's been a lot of new faces. And not like any other year. This year, we we actually have some spots to fill. Usually, the last couple of years, we have most of our core come back, but this year we have a lot of new guys, so it's been very competitive. Like you said, a lot of players have had a chance to actually make the team this year, so we've all been working together, pushing each other every single day. A lot of trash talking, and I think everybody's just ready to get it going on Saturday.
What do you think Josh Majette has rubbed off on you that you're going to bring into this team now that he's gone? It's kind of a loss, I would think. You've been playing with him for a couple of years now.
Yeah, it's still kind of weird for me not to play. I kind of got used to it in summer league and preseason without Josh being a point guard. But what I just learned from him, man, is his leadership skills and his competitiveness every single day, coming out here working hard, being the same person, and just wanting to win. So I just try to instill that into the young guys here. And like I said, I'm still one of the younger guys here. We got some older guys. And just try to bring my leadership skills. I know everybody's pretty much looking at me, listening to me. So the time that I'm here, I just want to work on being a leader and just trying to get the best out of everybody on my team.
Do you have a fun story from Summer League? Because it was just fun for all of us to watch you.
I mean, every day it was something new, so I can't just pick one. Just the whole, like, as you probably seen from looking outside, looking in, it was just a great time for all of us. We got the goal that we wanted to win it all. We did that, and at the end of the day, man, everybody looked great.
Did you guys help Lonzo pick his shoes, or did he just pick his shoes every day?
He kind of made it a surprise for us. We wouldn't put him on until he came out, so, pretty much everybody was trying to see what was going on. But we weren't really worried about his shoes at the time. We were trying to get a win after we lost the first two, I think.
If you wanna find me, yo, I'm in the front row. Got 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. The best place to be, I'm in the front row. So what's colder than ice and even hotter than a flame? I be in the front row, chilling at a ball game. Yeah, you know what they say when you're having fun.